Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is Courtney with the LSA, and I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar series. Today's webinar is titled Never Lead with Facebook, Secrets for More Effective SMB Sales, and is brought to you by our guest presenters, Itamar and Barry from Umbrella. During the webinar, feel free to type any questions that you have in the question box on the screen, and they will address those both during the presentation and then at the end. Before we get started, just a few quick things about the webinar. The webinar will be recorded and available within 48 hours, and we will email everyone with a link, all of the registrants. And you can view past webinars on our website by looking under the Insights tab and clicking Webinars. All right, so with that, let's get started. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Courtney. This is Barry speaking. A very good welcome to you, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you for the next hour. And I'm joined by Itamar. I just want to make sure before we do get started, guys, that everyone here can hear us loud and clear. I know there's sometimes some technical issues with GoToWebinar, so just confirm in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear. And as you're doing that, I just want to welcome the CEO of Umbrella, Itamar Shafir. Itamar, just let's make sure that everyone can hear your microphone as well.
Hi, Barry. Hi, everybody. Good to be here.
All right, so I can see everyone can hear us loud and clear. Perfect. All right, guys, let's just give you a little introduction to Umbrella, what we do, and what we're going to be sharing with you over the next hour. Umbrella was built in order to help digital agencies to partner with leading brands to help them to generate better results, to increase their ability to turn prospects into sales, and also to include in the process to improve the prospecting process as well. We've had the merit over the last several years to work with thousands of small marketing agencies, and we've had the ability to see what's working, what isn't working for them, and to help our agencies to develop a process that allows them to bring in more prospects, to turn prospects into more sales, and perhaps more importantly than all, is to be able to increase the value of the client. And the way we've been able to do that over the last couple of years is to provide our agencies with top digital marketing solutions that have got at least a 45% profit margin. Obviously, that's very important. Anyone, as you know, in the business that we're in, is that we want to be able, obviously, to generate as much profit as possible. But on top of that, we want to do that with the least amount of fulfillment effort. And this perhaps is the first thing that's big takeaway, and I'd love to hear the feedback from each and every one of you, because your feedback, by the way, during the next hour is going to be invaluable for us to allow us to help you to increase your potential and your sales as well. So my question to you is, what is your current position right now within your agency? Share with us in the chat box. Are you the CEO? Are you the CMO of an agency? Are you a smaller agency, solopreneur? I'd love to know just a little bit more about you so we can get the absolute very most, you guys can get the very most out of this training. So I can see here in the chat box, sales trainer, co-founder, CMO, senior digital marketing strategist is Sarah, VP of client development, business development, VP of business dev, online marketing specialist. We've got a plethora of roles here. All right, let's move on, Itamar. I'm just curious, within your organization, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty in just a second, but within your digital marketing agency where you are right now, how many solutions are you providing, or is your company providing? Are you focusing on one solution, SEO, Facebook, whatever it might be, or are you have you got multiple solutions? I'm just curious, guys, if you just give me a insight into the businesses that you guys are involved with. So most people are saying multiple. We've got people are saying several. Some people are saying 6. Fred says 6 plus. Some saying more. So I can see that there is a plethora here again of different answers. All right. So today we're going to talk about several very important concepts. Number one, the importance to recognize a customer's bliss point, which is the point that you're going to be able to upsell. So those of you have got multiple different solutions. Obviously, the sweet spot, what we're looking to achieve, is that bliss point that we're able to upsell. The second thing is to be able to differentiate between an offer that makes a client or a potential client always happy and a performance marketing attack. And we're going to share the difference between the two, how this is going to affect your bottom line, your potential to sell and to be able to upsell. We're going to share with you how to build trust quickly with skeptical customers and with prospects, by the way. The right sequence to introduce different marketing solutions, how you should do it. And we've seen, again, over several years with thousands of specialists and agencies, we've found the right sequences that seem to be working a lot better than others. And also a 360-degree solution package, why you need one and how to apply it. So let me hand this over to the CEO of Umbrella, Itamar Shafir. And guys, if you've got questions, please interact with us. I'll be taking the questions and interacting with Itamar based on the feedback and the questions that we're getting. So Itamar, it's all yours.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you very much for this opening, for the introduction. Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to be here and share all of this with you. One of the most important things that we're going to do today is actually also show real case studies of real campaigns, you know, the results, how much people make, and how it all ties back into how to do the sales process and how to really break the noise of prospecting and selling and make it easier and faster for all of us to make more money. So the bliss point. The bliss point is the client's bliss point happens when they feel their expectation has been met, okay? So to dissect it, let's take, for example, something we all know, which is online presence management. Some of you may work with Yext, some of you may work with Uberall. It doesn't really matter. It basically, for those of you who don't do it, you should do it. Online presence, it means, or business listing, some people call it, when you distribute business information across 50, 60, 70 websites. Let's look from left to right, just to explain what the bliss point is. The client status today, right, could be a prospect, could be an existing client. They're limited to online and voice search exposure, inaccurate or missing NAP, which is name, address, and phone number, lack of rich content, no images and such. The perceived value and expectation of the client when we're having a conversation with them is don't lose clients because of inaccurate or missing information, convert more eyeballs into clients due to rich content, get more traffic. Meaning the expectation, which is the bliss point, BP, is showcase a report that shows what you have accomplished, okay? And I'm starting from things that are very basic, but it's just to build where we're going with this. So when we share a report with a client about something that we did for them on online presence management, we want to share all the locations that we put that client on, and we want to show maybe a before and after situation. Like on the left, their map quest was inaccurate name, inaccurate hours, no inaccurate address, no hours, no features. On the right, oh, look what we did to you. Now you have what we did for you. Now you have images, you have videos, you have a ton of text, you have the hours. Now people can find you, right? So now the client is super happy. And you're reviewing the report with your client, and the client is happy. And they go like, hey, John, I'm happy you like the results. We got you. As part of setting up your online presence, we also reviewed 3 key factors in your business. It could be a lot of different aspects, and we'll get to the exact structure of it very, very soon. But it could be reputation online, how much traffic that client is getting. It could be overviewing their website. Do they have a call for action? Do they have issues with their website? Is it mobile responsive? Does it have schema? Different options. And we found that, and that's what I'm telling John after we got him an amazing solution and showed him an amazing report on the online presence management that we sold them. You don't rank on relevant keywords. Why don't you want to be on the first page of Google, John? Your website doesn't have a clear call for action. You're losing money. You only have ranking reviews, GMB. What about Facebook and Yelp? Okay, so obviously when we're going into the upsell, we want to tell the client that is very happy with the work so far, hey, here are another set of issues that we found for you. Okay, so that's the bliss point. The bliss point is exactly when the customer is going to be happy. Now, let's take it a step back. We're going into a prospect. So basically what I'm telling you guys is when we're going into a prospect, the first product that we want to sell that prospect will decide if we're going to continue in working with that client. And we have 2 sets of products. We have products that we know that we can control or almost control if the client is going to be happy with those products. Those products are going to lead us to a direct upsell because the client is going to be immediately happy. We're going to meet their expectations, bliss point. And we have a set of other products, okay? And to go even deeper to what I mean, let's look for a second at the sales sequence into a prospect. We talk to a prospect, low trust. A prospect, not a person who knows us, not a client. Low trust, they don't know us. An offer, need to be a trust building offer. Usually not free. We don't like to do that, but it can be free, low cost, or result-based offer. For example, pay-per-result SEO. Okay, we'll put you on the first page of Google, or you don't pay a dime. It's just one example. Or a low-end offer. Let's put you on 70 different online venues, which is basically business listing, with rich information so you can be found and voice search can find you. Just $45 a month or $40 a month. We meet the client expectations, they're happy, bliss point, upsell. Now, again, when we start this cycle, we can start it on the left with always happy products, or on the right with performance, which is more risky. And I'll explain why. Always happy is websites, business listings, reputation management, almost, Google My Business, FB setup, any kind of setup is always happy. Almost always happy is pay-per-result SEO and email blast. On the right hand, though, we have performance marketing, Facebook advertising, Google mobile advertising. Now, going into somebody who is not doing this currently, or even people who are doing this, and I'm telling you for many, many, many campaigns, you guys might have different experience. On average, only 30% of campaigns work, quote unquote, in the eyes of the client. And that's a big number. It means that if you sell Facebook advertising to somebody, the prospect, the new person you're just starting to work with, there is a chances of 2 in 3 odds that they would not be happy with what you sold them. So let's look for a second at real examples. Graphics are the easiest to make clients happy with. Sounds weird, right? Because clients always have comments about graphics, but we can control it. The client expectations when we're doing a design of a newsletter, a landing page, or even a website is usually the immediate expectation of most small clients is beautiful design. If we provide a beautiful design, we meet the client expectations, hit the bliss point, we upsell. We're in control. Let's say the client is not super happy with the first version. We do a second version, even a third. By the third version, the client is super happy. We're in control. Once they're happy, they're saying, hey, Itamar, that's an amazing website. I say, yeah, that's great, but you don't have traffic. Let's do SEO, let's do Facebook. But they trust me, I did something well for them. Online presence, listing setup, also the same thing. Client expectations, just as an example, set me up on Google My Business. We set them up on Google My Business, we provide the information, we add the images, we add the content. We cannot fail. There is no way that we can do a Google My Business setup or a business listings and fail, right? Because we will always be able to do that setup exactly as the client wants and according to their expectations. So we're in control, and the client was going to look at their GMB and the Google My Business profile and say, wow, that's amazing. There was nothing there, and now it's a full profile, and I'm getting traffic on it. That's great. Magazine advertising. So-and-so, but mainly in control. Why? Magazine advertising, many agencies or a lot of advertisers think magazine advertising is a performance product because it's a traffic generator, but or even a branding tool, but still, it's an advertising solution. It's for traffic. But the reality behind it is for more small businesses, it's a vanity product. Okay? They are again attracted to the graphics. So when you do a full page ad on Forbes, what the client wants to see is, wow, my accounting business in Denver is on Forbes next to KMPG, next to PwC, next to Ernst & Young. I'm amazing. People are gonna, and you're giving them 2 magazines as an example. It's changing their lives. And for those of you thinking, hey, small businesses can't afford an ad on Forbes, today you can actually buy an ad on Forbes, but just show it in a specific location. So for example, buy a full page ad on Forbes for an accountant in Denver, but only be seen by Denver-based subscribers. And I'm talking about the print edition. So a full page ad on Forbes can cost an accountant $2,500 and you're making 40% margin on it. And that's not expensive. So the main thing about magazines, again, you can control because you can control the graphic of the ad and the fact that it's going to be on Forbes. Forbes is not going to dump you. They're going to approve you, put the ad. The client likes the visual of the ad. They like the fact that it's on Forbes. They're getting the Forbes magazine. They're proud. You're awesome. You're upselling. Facebook ad campaigns, now that's something different. Now I'm moving from the always happy to the more riskiest. And let's explain why. The promise in these types of campaigns is hits and clicks. With Facebook, we usually don't promise leads. We don't promise an amount of leads. We can promise, we'll get between 5 and 10, 2 and 10, depending on how much information we have for that specific business in that specific location, how much background information. But usually it's hits and clicks. And the client expectation, no matter what we tell them, is the phone ringing. Doesn't matter. You can say it 1,000 times. I'm promising you 50,000 hits, 500 clicks. He hears you, or she, and they say, yeah, I get it. Yeah, 500 clicks. And then you over-deliver. You deliver 550 clicks, 600 clicks, but the phone doesn't ring. Maybe the phone doesn't ring not because of you, because of the entire funnel, the product, the offering, many other things. But if the phone doesn't ring, they're disappointed. And the fact is that 2 out of 3 times it won't work. That's just, general statistics. You might be the most amazing advertiser. Yeah, Barry, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm just curious, just everyone that's here, if you can share with us your experience, because we've got some very sophisticated people that are here on this webinar with us. What is your experience? Have you seen that in your own business or the company that you're working, that when you make and you lead forward with a type of campaign that is not guaranteed to work, that the chances are the client isn't going to be exceptionally happy? It's right in the chat box, yes, if that is an experience that you have encountered. Right in the chat box, no, if you've never experienced a situation, even if you are sending a Facebook ad campaign or something similar, that you've had a situation where the client is expecting beyond what you are suggesting they're going to get. And I know, very good point, people are saying, Itamar, it's about managing expectations. But what Itamar is saying, and this is what we've seen with thousands of agencies, is that when it comes to Facebook, if you lead off with that, even if you manage the expectations, what happens is that the client below the surface has a unfair expectation that is not even part of the discussion point of what you're sharing with them. You're talking about clicks, and behind the surface, even if they don't bring it up with you, they're thinking about phone calls themselves. All right,
exactly.
And I can see, there's a mixture of responses.
Yeah, so completely about client expectations, but right now we're talking about prospects. And when you're dealing with, the first product that you're selling into a prospect, somebody who doesn't trust you, and they have a lukewarm opinion about what happened, or a lot of times, like Barry said, unfair expectations, even though there was an alignment on your end, then they wouldn't want to continue with you. On the other hand, if you're opening with a different product that you know that they're going to be 100% happy and building that trust, then they'll trust you in the campaign when you say that was a good result. So just to summarize this section, if you made some wins for a client and you spent a couple of months developing a personal relationship as you're providing an always happy product, you'll survive a misalignment of expectations. But if you don't have trust, and you guys know exactly where it leads if you don't have trust, you won't survive that. So you must make sure that your first solution that you sell is an always happy solution, okay? And obviously there are many permutations into prospecting and how this goes, but that's a general rule of thumb. Now to do that, to be in a place where you can provide the right product to the right client at the right time and then upsell into the right product at the right time, you need a plethora of solutions. You need 300-degree marketing solutions. Let's just do a quick overview about the main solutions, the usual suspects that we have. Reputation management, Facebook advertising, Google advertising, email marketing, cashback promotions, which is also called LinkedIn offers, pay per result SEO, regular SEO, websites, magazines, business listings, automated marketing. I know there is a few more, like mobile advertising. Let's put it under display. That's pretty much what most small businesses would buy, or businesses in general, actually, okay? And the more we know about each one of these products and how they bundle in and upsell into a different product, the more success we're gonna have. Have a solution for every need, okay? And this is where we're going into how we're turning a $100 a month client into a $1,000 a month client and much, much more, okay? And we're gonna use real examples of campaign here and real examples of numbers, which our members sell. So On the bottom left here, you see a client that is worth $2,000 a year. Okay, that's about $150 a month in marketing solutions. And on the top here, you see a client that is worth about $12,000 a year or $1,000 solutions. And we're going to see how we're going to do even more. So basically, simple math, if we want to add $100,000 of revenue, not to mention profit, which I'm going to show you, this is something we're going to linger on a little bit because as we know in agencies, there is a real difference between income and profit. We want to add $100,000 in profit, we need 10 clients, right? Simple math. If one client is making us about $10,000, $12,000 a year, we need 8 to 12 clients to make $100,000. So we're going into a prospect. First thing we're going to offer is something trust building, something easy. Maybe it's pay per result SEO. Maybe it's local listing. Then that pay per result SEO, we're getting people ranked. It's turning into a real SEO campaign, $600 a month. Reputation management kicks in because if you don't have enough traffic and enough charges coming in, your reputation management won't take off. Let's say, for example, you have 60, 70, 80 invoices that your client produces a month. You add reputation management software, takes up like wildfire. If you have 10, your client's making 10 invoices a month, that's tough. Email marketing can come in at the lower end or at the higher end. It usually bundles well into Facebook advertising because you can add the Facebook pixel and create an audience and follow up with a Facebook campaign. They just go well together. And then you can top it off with magazine ads and websites. Obviously, for different clients, you can create different situations depending on your client discovery process. But let's assume you're walking into a client that is not doing a lot of digital marketing, and this is the first time you're having a conversation. This would be a pretty safe way to take that client up the value chain for you and for them, okay? So rich business listings. So what I'm going to do now is show you exactly the profit that we see our members do when they're following this and how it works. So rich business listings, just as an example, our members work with Yext. Wholesale cost to them about $22, retail price $45 a month, your profit $23. It's not a lot of profit, but it's a great way to build trust. Pay per result SEO, as you can see here, the arrow says starts from $49 a month because that's a setup fee we're charging every month, even though the SEO campaigns pay per result, meaning when we get one of your 10 keywords that you chose on the first page of Google, you're starting to pay $600. It takes usually 2 months, sometimes 3, to be in the money and make that $600. That's a big jump. That's where the client becomes serious. So imagine moving from a $45 a month client into, okay, now it's $645 a month client. $275, that's a wholesale cost for 10 keywords in the pay per result SEO campaign. Retail price around $600. Some members go up to $1,000. Your profit $325 a month. Okay, it's a lot of profit. It's more than 50%. Reputation management, something a lot of people need, right? If we're taking a look at this reputation management solution, we're working with Broadly. They cover Google My Business. They cover Facebook advertising. They cover Home Advisor. They cover Yelp and a bunch of other things. And this is a real client of a real member, ABC Hosting Services. They also do email marketing. They also do Facebook advertising, by the way. Wholesale cost to you, to us, to our members, $125. Retail price $250. Your profit $125. Now, you might think, okay, this is expensive for reputation management. You're right. There are other solutions that are less expensive, but members want to sell high. So it's dependent. It really depends where you're going. If you're going after somebody, a business that has a team, and they also want to review their team and score their team in addition to having online reviews, this is the right solution to go. If you're talking to a really small business that just want to get additional reviews to their business and doesn't really have a lot of technicians or a lot of people they want to rank, or doesn't want to put, it's not the main thing for them, you can go with lower cost solutions. Email marketing, another example of something real. This is an email marketing blast that was done for Valley Chevy dealers. Get your Black Friday deal, targeting auto intenders, conquest email. They went after people who already have a Ford, a Dodge, a Ram, a Nissan, a Honda. You can do that with email targeting today. So you can go after people who are right now in the market to buy cars. They own a specific model and they're in a specific, 2.5-mile radius from the dealership. And even you can go by household income and many, many more parameters. 190,000 emails sent. Opens almost 10%, 19,000 people almost exposed to this, 2,584 clicks. How much do you think this costs? How much do you think the retail price is? I can't see the question bar, Barry, so I don't know if people are answering, but I'm really asking you. You guys are doing this all the time. I want to understand from your benchmark. You did this campaign for somebody. How much are you charging them?
So I'm saying $500, $1,000, different numbers.
Okay, so actually retail price $4,100. That's a nice chunk of change for an email campaign. And we don't really have time in this specific training, but I can show you maybe in a different training what is the difference between only providing an email campaign that is worth $500 and taking the value up to a place when it's worth a few $1,000s retail. Facebook advertising, again, we're showing you real examples. This is a Facebook advertising lead generation campaign for a painting and construction company. Wholesale price $897. This was a campaign that was bought for 3 months, so it's $897 per month for 3 months. Retail price $14.95. Our profit, $598 for 3 months. Facebook advertising, we work with a company called Got You. Maybe some of you know them. Magazine advertising. Now, this is something I really wanted to show you because I've encountered a lot of agencies that think magazine advertising is low value. It's because we have a tendency of going after digital today, and it's the right tendency. We are almost exclusive digital. Magazine advertising have the highest return on ad spend than almost all other media types, including TV and radio. And because we have a way today to advertise our clients, in specific locations only, any business can afford it. And a lot of high-end luxury and brand-conscious businesses really, really want to be in these top magazines. So the kitchen company, Santa Barbara Magazine, House Beautiful, location Hartford, wholesale cost to us $1,088. Retail $2,000. Profit $922. On the right, we have Pawnbroker. Okay, Bon Appetit magazine. That's a more expensive magazine. The only advertising in South Florida. This is not national. They went after only South Florida people. Cost to us wholesale $1,950. Retail price $3,200. Our profit $1,250. And usually, on average, magazine advertisers advertise 3 times a year. So if you could get somebody to advertise on the magazine, that would be good for you because that will add around $6,000 to $8,000, average revenue per year from that specific client. Let's recap and see how we're getting to the numbers that we want to go if we're following that value chain. We have a few columns here. The column on the left, the solution. Business, everything that I showed you. Business listings, paper result SEO, reputation management, email marketing, Facebook advertising, magazine advertising. Here we have cost per month and retail per month, cost per year and retail per year, just aggregate over 12 months. And with the exception of magazine advertising and Facebook ads, which is usually 3 months, or magazine ads, which is only 2 or 3 times a year. In this example, we only went with 2 times a year, magazine advertising, and Facebook advertising 6 times a year. So the average retail, the average retail profit per month, if you're selling to a client all these solutions, is almost $2,000. Profit, not income. That's your profit, the agency's profit. Obviously, profit on minus COGS and billing expenses and there is no labor because in all these solutions, all the fulfillment is done for you. So it's pure profit. Average profit per year from this client is $23,474. Again, profit. If we use this example, we need 5 of these clients to add $100,000 worth of bottom line profit to our agency. Now, I know this could be a little bit of a high number for a lot of small businesses. Now, let's say we cut this in half, okay? And let's say it's $11,733 in profit, and we have 10 clients. This is how we get to it says $117,370,000 in profit, but we wanted to reach about $100,000 in profit, right? So even if you're selling not all these solutions that I mentioned, but you're using the same climbing method of value, or you're just decreasing the cost and selling everything, let's say the Facebook advertising campaign, half the size that I mentioned. Not 2 times a year magazine advertising, 1 time a year. No magazine advertising, but yes, redo of a website. But something along that value chain of a customer, you will hit those numbers. And in my opinion, if you're not going after those numbers, there is something that can go very wrong with your client base if you're not getting into those numbers. Having a client spending with you at least this amount of money per year will make them more attached to you. You're basically controlling their entire marketing scheme. You're controlling their different products. And you also have a more ability to control their value because you are controlling the different facets of the market. Okay? So let's take it into basically one of the last 2 slides that I want to share with you before we go into Q&A, which is A, what the client needs, and then B, what you need. And this is important. So obviously what the client needs, if you want an easy way to remember everything that we talked about, the client only needs 3 buckets. They always need the same 3 buckets, doesn't matter which client it is, if it's big, if it's small, communication, insurance, healthcare, doesn't matter. They need traffic, they need to convert that traffic into clients, they need to retain that clients and generate repeat income from them. And from each of those buckets, we need to have the right solutions. We need to have the solutions that they really need. Sometimes it's SEO, almost every time it's SEO. Sometimes it's Google ads, sometimes it's Facebook ads. They need referrals, they need email marketing, they need those things. So we need to have all these traffic elements. Then for conversion, we need another set of tools. We need to be able to look at their website and say, hey, there is no CTA. And you don't have to be an expert. Just look at the website. There is no call for action. Nobody's telling you, hey, click here, call this, book now, here's a special time offer. There is nothing. And you see that on so many websites. So you need to add on-site engagements or chatbots. You need to have those tools. Reputation, and you'll be amazed. A simple chatbot that you take $50 or $100 a month for, start generating some leads. The client gets so excited because that website haven't generated leads in years for them. Maybe some phone call, but no online leads. Reputation, reviews and ranking, obviously encompassing online presence, which is what we call business listings, but it's no longer business listings. It's actually the one true record of truth of a client online. Today is what online presence management is, business listings. And retention, reputation management, automated marketing is super important. For those of you who know how to implement it into small businesses, it could be an amazing hook and can keep you very connected to the client across years. It's one of the lowest churn products there is. If you're getting into the CRM with some sort of automated integration, you're hooked in. And internal email promotions, which is also connected today to automated marketing. The 3 buckets: traffic, conversion, retention. And from that, what the agency needs to get to a place of $100,000 profit a year, right? Addition, we saw what it takes. It's either 5 great clients, 10 mediocre clients, but you don't want to be in a situation where it's 40 bad clients, right? That's when you're going into that place where the cogs of running, not the cogs, excuse me, the cost overhead of running your operation, even if you're not doing the fulfillment, is eating away into those margins because the amount of profit those campaigns are generating for you is so low that you're basically killing yourself faster. So if you're going very low, you need to have mass. And for mass, you need to have a lot of dollars for acquisition. Most of us don't have that. You need to go a little bit up, higher, a little bit higher. It doesn't take too much, just up that ladder that I showed you. And you know, sometimes we just forget that because we're too busy in offering products and not thinking about the entire scheme of products. So what you need, ability to offer multiple quality solutions, large margins, at least 35%. Never do something that is not 35% unless it's absolutely just to keep the client. Just as the example everybody gives, and it's true, Google PPC. There aren't a lot of people doing 35% with Google PPC. It rarely exists, and rightfully so. But Google is not a money-making, PPC is not really a money-making solution so much as you need to do it to preserve the client. But everything else aside Google PPC should be at least 35% margins. If it's not, again, in my opinion, and I saw it many times with other agencies, you're killing yourself faster. Have fulfillment done for you. Don't do fulfillment if you don't have to, unless you have a very specific expertise that a lot of people know you for it. Everything else that you do, don't fulfill. Put your effort in building your business. Why fulfill where there are so many great contractors? Have a clear upselling funnel based on the client discovery. And if there is no client discovery to be made, there always is a little bit, but if you can't do it or you're moving too fast, use the ladder technique that I showed you. It's the same basic value upsell. Track and act on the bliss point always. Don't miss an upsell. You gave that report. The client is super happy. Now, hit them now. Don't wait for 2 months. 2 months after you're calling them, they're not excited. They're not in the bliss point. And, you know, it's a conversation. They'll listen to you, but they don't have that, you know, Itamar really made a win for me. This is really amazing. I'm going to give him some more, you know, some more money to play with because he already proved that he should get that credit. So the bliss point, if you're hitting the client at the right time at the bliss point, you'll be amazed how fast you can move up that ladder than not hitting them in the bliss point. That post fulfillment client conversation where you showcase a report is probably the most important sales conversation you can do. So that's what we have for you for today. Barry.
Yes, I just have to ask, guys, first of all, that's thank you, Itamar. Guys, was that helpful to you? I think it's just a very important insight in terms of what we've experienced, and we've seen this with thousands of agencies, and we've seen it with bigger agencies that have jumped on our solutions, and we've seen how the funnels that Itamar has been sharing has worked for them. And we've also seen it for individuals and people that have decided that they're going to build their own agency. Some people have been working for others and decided that they want to go solo and build their own agency. They've had the experience of working for larger companies, and now they're moving in the direction of, you know what, I can do this myself. The potential for profits, if I got a 360-degree solution, allows me and gives me the confidence that I can do this because I've been working and I see the potential of what I could do if I did this by myself. So those of you who are interested to find out more about the 360 solution that Umbrella does provide, you can go right now to umbrellawebinars.com, umbrellawebinars.com.
Thanks a lot, you guys. That was great. And to our audience, if you guys have any questions or you want to be connected with the speaker, you can email us at webinars@thelsa.org. And thanks, everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.